Well, welcome to the seventh episode of Matchday World Cup show. We have a full house today. Before we kick it off, I would like to remind you that this show is brought to you by Matchday. Scan the QR code on your screen, join the score prediction battle against us as well. You can also collect your World Cup cards special edition. So give it a check. If you are on a desktop, just click the QR code and you can connect. Right, so we have today with us the big return of the Englishman. The Englishman is with us. We also have Sabi for the Netherlands, Paulo for Portugal, and Ty for Brazil. Wow, full house today. Well, I'm looking forward to that one. How are you doing, boys?
All good. How
Good.
about you?
Well, man.
Yeah. I'm excited to be fair. I'm excited. I mean, the
Seen
run
a
of
couple
Steve has
smiles on
been-
everyone's faces as well.
Yeah. You know what? Before we went live, Steve was in the background. He was already laughing at me. Like. I saw him. He was already laughing. Maybe he had his punchlines in his head already. He was already thinking of it. So how are you doing?
Good. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, good to see you back. It's been a while actually. So yeah, talk to us. I think we're gonna kick off with the England Senegal game first before we talk about France England. But you were again at this massive fan zone in Manchester. Great atmosphere. Massive result for Senegal. I thought it will be Senegal. Remember when we did the score prediction? I was expecting a massive surprise, but wow, England has been solid.
Yeah, no, they've been good. Even centre-back partnership, Johnny Stones, Harry Maguire, Pickford, everyone, Bellingham, Jude Bellingham's been outstanding. I thought we started off a little bit slow. So the old England starts to creep in. You start to think, are we panicking? Are we being told to play backwards? But then Jude Bellingham just took the bull by the arms and just went with it. And I think everybody just led by example. He was rattling in a few challenges. He was getting stuck in with winning the ball. Phil Foden, one touch, wasn't even taking a touch on the ball, just zipping it into him fast, one touch. Bellingham liked that. He was one touch laying off. And we just looked good. But we said this early days in the competition. We said if Gareth lets them play without the shackles, let the young boys have a bit of faith in them, let them play football, we've got a chance. If he starts to worry about the opposition more than what we've got, then it's going to, be a problem. And I think he got it right. Listen, I've slagged him off. I've said he's not elite enough and he's not got the mentality. Yeah. But up to now, he's proved me wrong. And if he keeps proving me wrong, I'll take it. But we've got to go with this France game with the chest out. France are looking at us and thinking England are playing well. We're looking at France and thinking Mbappe. We've got Kyle Walker, who's done well against Mbappe. Needs to calm down, make sure he don't get caught too far up the pitch. And listen, we just got to go toe-to-toe. Let's just have a shootout. Let our young guns go against France. Let their young guns go at us and let the best team win. And then, listen, if we go out with the chest out. If we win, we carry on. And that's how we got to do it now. I think the nation's together. The fans are always together. It's the first time I've come out of an England game in a World Cup when no one's smashing the buses up outside or fighting. It's refreshing to see, man. Everyone was happy. But I've sussed it out, yeah. When it's 90 degrees outside and the beer's flowing, everyone starts smashing buses up. When it's -4, everyone just wants to get home and get in bed.
It's true.
But no, as an England fan, mate, listen, Gareth, keep proving me wrong. Brilliant to see the young lads, Foden, Bellingham, Saka. It's refreshing to see. And we're doing all right. We just got to keep going.
Yeah, I watched that though because
go on.
They've kept the back four, which we spoke about Steve on the first show after England's first game. He's kept with it. I think he's got to keep with it against France. But I think the Jordan Henderson inclusion, like I'll be honest, he gets a lot of flack, especially obviously me and Big Steve knowing being here all our lives. But I think it's worked a treat, man. I think what Jordan Henderson gives that England team there is just that balance to allow the front forward players to get forward and do their thing. And I think what we noticed yesterday was Jude Bellingham was in that number 10 role, who was allowed to play more advanced. Because he knew you had Henderson and Rice there, who are predominantly more defensive-minded players. Bellingham was pinching the ball high up the pitch and was already in their final third. He was able to get the ball and actually use his strength, which is like ball carrying into the final third, because once he's running with the ball, he is so hard to stop because he reminds me of Yaya Toure in his prime. Like once they start galloping, they are just going to keep going and going and going. I'm not saying obviously you compare him to Yaya, but in terms of when they start running with the ball, it's so hard to stop them.
Yeah.
And I think the balance is right. For me, I think this midfield and that attack is something that has to stay. I don't mind Rashford being on the bench as an impact player, as a quick, pacey player. But I think, Foden, Saka, Kane dropping in, Bellingham being able to run forward with knowing that we've got covering behind. I think it's worth to treat. Jordan Henderson, fair play to him, because I'm not his biggest fan. But in terms of tournament football, leadership, keeping play switched on even in the 80th minute, it helps these younger players. And they're learning a lot while they're performing. So Southgate, fair play, man.
I watched that game, and obviously what I noticed is that you guys are always starting very slow, very quiet.
First half an hour.
And when I look at that England team, I'm like, obviously you talked about the midfield, the kind of worst player that you had, obviously is Declan Rice with the 3.7 out of 5 in terms of no. I think Anderson was 4.1, 4.5 for Jude Bellingham. Saka is on fire, I have to admit as well. But I'd say, every time the first half is always a slow half for you guys. And we usually are on the front foot during the first half. So what? Let's just talk about that France-England game, because everyone is paying a lot of attention to that game. So obviously I'm in London. I'm French. I'm looking forward to that one. Big Steve trying to take me with him in Qatar. I don't know if he's still going, bro. But that will be an amazing game. I hope so. Again, I think we were not the favorites of the competition. Now people are paying a lot more attention to us. When I think about France, I think about Mbappe. I don't think that is true. Obviously, he's smashing it. I checked the stats. That is amazing. Like 23 years old, he scored as many goals in the World Cup as Luis Suarez, who else? Cristiano Ronaldo, and also as
even Lionel Messi.
I think
Messi and Ronaldo, both of them.
Yeah. So that is really impressive. But again, he's smashing it. But it's not only about him, to be fair. When you look at what Griezmann is doing game after game, is more and more useful. When you're looking at what Ousmane Dembele is doing as well. When you look at what Giroud is doing as well. I'm not a massive fan of Giroud, as you know.
Had a great game.
I'm getting roasted for this, but even Adrien Rabiot is working in the shadow, but is actually delivering. To be fair, that game will be. So I was looking at the head-to-head. England-France played 6 times, 4 France wins, 1 England win, and 1 draw. So we have a good record against England. We are obviously holding the title as well. We talked on the WhatsApp group. You said it's a 50-50 game. I don't think it is a 50-50 game. I'm trying to be objective because we're holding the title, and the way we look, I'd say some more of a 60-40 game for France. I don't like saying this because I don't like being the favorite. But when I look at that England team, it looks kind of more solid than during the Euros, to be fair. What do you think about that? When you compare this England team with the England team from the Euros?
Solid. It's a solid side. But the difference is he's letting them play a little bit. So we know we've got a little bit up front. First 30 minutes, we were slow. Harry Maguire was trying the right things. It wasn't coming off. He was trying to zip them passes into Foden. They were intercepting and putting us on the back foot. But then you've seen Stones and that calming him down. And then Maguire's had a great tournament for me. And I think they're going to relish it. But the big key for us is Kyle Walker. Because Kyle Walker has got that pace. If France get us on the counter-attack, Mbappe can go as fast as he wants. But Kyle Walker, if he stays with him, he'll catch him. And he can.
I'm with you on this one, Steve, because we played against City, and then I was at the Etihad as well, and I've seen.
We played Real Madrid last year. And Vinicius Junior couldn't get a kick. Kyle Walker goes off injured. Next minute, he's ripping us apart. So England, if I'm Gareth, I've got to say, look, we are going to start slow because I think it's just England's way of feeling the opposition out, so we don't make a stupid mistake, and then we seem to grow into the game. But France have got to worry about Foden. France have got to worry about Bellingham. They've got to worry about Saka. Harry Kane might be quiet, but I tell you what, if he gets a sniff a goal from 8-10 yards out, he can score. So it is a good. Listen, I'm confident in England the way we're going, and I'm finally going into a knockout game thinking, yeah, let's go. Unless he drops Bellingham and plays Phillips, and then
but do you think
random? So don't want to do that.
Steve, do you think he'll maintain the same formation? Because for me, I think he'll go to a back 5 against France.
Well, this is where we go out, because
Mm.
we shouldn't change our formation for nobody. We're England. Yeah, we've had a good group. We conceded 2 late goals to Iran when we were switched off. We've been solid against, Wales was a banana skin. Senegal, the energy Senegal have. We know we matched them energy for energy.
Yeah.
We broke the souls in the end. You know what I mean? They had 2 good chances, Senegal, but we can't afford to give them chances to France. I just think he's got to just go with it now. Stick with the team, stick with it, and people will go with it.
I think the mistake you can make is to focus too much on Mbappe, guys. I think if you just want to cancel him, you can do that. If you put 1 or 2, even 3 solid players on him, but it's not only. That's the thing. That's what I said. It's not only about him. If you cancel him, trust me, Ousmane Dembele, also Giroud, even Griezmann, even in the midfield, even Tchouaméni and Rabiot. If we have the same formation as well, trust me.
I fancy our midfield to win that battle, mate. I do. I think Declan Rice.
That will be key.
I think Bellingham, if he needs to sit in as well with them 3 and battle for half an hour, we can. But I think if we need to drive, we can drive. And I just think that's where the key's going to be. The battle's going to be won in the middle. If we can get a grip of that.
Can they stop Bellingham when he's in full flow? Like Tchouaméni and Rabiot, I like them as players. I'm not a big fan of Rabiot, but like you said, he's performing. But Tchouaméni, I like him on the ball when he's got time. He can, look left and right. But if Bellingham starts running at them, that's what I think, Stu. Can Bellingham get past that midfield? Yes, he can. Can Tchouaméni and Rabiot do the work going the other way? I don't feel like they have.
Are you talking from a pace perspective?
Yeah, pace and mobility perspective.
Well,
Who's playing on the right?
Rabiot has
France
space.
plays on the right back. He's right back.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Koundé. He's not really a natural right back.
Koundé is he's shaking.
That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly. I was about to say. That's when. That's when I start to worry, man. It's the defense, and I'm gonna go even further. Is even the keeper is looking shaky during this World Cup, man.
Mm.
Yeah, even I'm telling you, Lloris is
he doesn't get ratings here, Stu, man. A lot of people in here, like Paolo would know, is obviously living. You live here, don't you, Paolo, in the UK?
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Like Lloris is not rated. When you look at the top 6 keepers, he's always that one that's got a mistake in him.
Yeah, then he makes some outstanding saves, and then you think, he's world class. But he's a bit shaky, and he's been a little bit shaky in this tournament.
And the penalties, he can stop penalties as well.
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
He's a penalty.
We won 3-1 against Poland. I think we had an amazing game as well. I mean, technically it's a 3-0 to be fair. But
that penalty, Jesus,
bro. I mean that's horrendous. I don't know what they did. Like, imagine losing 3-0, extra time, stoppage time, and they're like, you know what, just re-kick it again. Like, it's over, man.
I kind of felt bad for him.
That's horrendous. But by the way, it's just for the stats for another goal for Lewandowski. But that's all right. Any one of you watched that game, the France game?
Yeah, I thought the thing is, I was very critical of Poland in the group stage. I thought they were really poor. In this game, I actually thought they were slightly better. They were trying to be more attacking. They were trying to press from the front. But France just had too much.
Yeah,
France just had too much. Clinical. Mbappe was doing a madness in that game. I thought Dembele looked very, very dangerous. I just thought the final ball at times wasn't really there for Dembele. But I thought France were just a way better team. I thought Poland done well. Just the quality wasn't there. Lewandowski can't carry Poland like that.
They had a huge chance. They had a big chance in the first half.
Yeah.
If that went in, it could have been a change in the game. But eventually, France totally deserved the win comfortably, especially in the second half. So it's
16 shots for France, 12 for Poland. We had 8 on target. They had 3 on target. Possession is pretty much even. It's 55% for France, 45% for Poland. We're not really a possession team anyway. So I'm not really surprised about that. But man, I'm telling you, like this England game is stressing me out a little bit, to be fair, because
it's a crazy game.
But
that's not easy.
The funny thing is, both England and France, they're looking quite good in spells, and they've had a few dry spells where you're like, but none of them no one's played really a big team yet. No one's been able to test themselves against the best teams. When you look at it on paper, you're thinking England's opposition, France's opposition so far. On paper, you're saying England wins, and France wins. So this is like the first test to see what France can do under pressure and what England would do under proper pressure and with world-class players. And I think that's what makes it so interesting. Like, I was 11 years old, I think Euro 2004, when you guys beat us 2-1, Zidane double. But like, going into this France game, this is the first time that I feel like England fans, even at work today, I walked in today and everyone's like, we can take France. We've got a confident feeling about winning a big game. And when England team, like the England team and England fans go against Brazil's, the France, you naturally just think that we haven't got the mentality to win. But for the first time ever, and Steve would agree, like everyone's got that feeling of we can do France, and you don't get that a lot when it comes to England and
I was about to ask what's the general feeling on the England side.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty positive. Like, Steve, do you agree with Stu that it's a 60-40 France, or do you think it's 50-50?
I think it's 50-50, but I'm accept if he wants to say 60-40, I love all that.
Take it.
I like the French giving it.
Of course you will.
No one likes to be the favourite anymore.
Nah, man.
No one likes to be the favourite.
Take the pressure off us, innit? We just got to go and do it. Listen, it is what it is. We're in for it. We're there. It's fine. It's good to go into a game though, thinking we've got a bit of a chance. You know, over the years, the French teams we've come up against, they've wiped the floor with us. But now you look at some of the players, Giroud, like you say, Rabiot, great players on the day, but come on, man. We've come up against French teams with Vieira in there, Manuel Petit, people like that. Then you're shitting yourself. I'm not shitting myself off Rabiot. I'm not shitting myself off Giroud. Might come and bite me on the ass. The only one I'm scared about is that Mbappe. I said at the beginning of the tournament, he's just got that something about him where he can just. We could batter France for 90 minutes. He could just do one moment of magic.
Exactly.
But do you think England will drop down, or will they play a high line during the game?
I think you're going to see us deep in the first 30 minutes again. And this is where he's got to then make sure we don't stay deep, because we played Germany before the World Cup, and that's what happened. We stayed too deep. We couldn't get out. Against Senegal, we started deep, but then we just seemed to, like, somebody just dragged us. Bellingham just went, you know what, we need to break their lines, let's go. And everybody followed it. And I think Henderson, like we were saying before, he's not the greatest player in the world. He's not, he does a job and he's good at it. He can get about the pitch. He can cover when somebody goes forward. He's always talking to the young kids. They seem to have a lot of respect for him. He's been captain at Liverpool. He's won the European Cups and that. I know he's not fancy on the eye. If he was called Hendinho, we'd all be raving about him. But it's not. It's Henderson, isn't it? He used to play for Sunderland, and everyone I think everyone just don't get him. But listen, he's having a World Cup. It's his last World Cup. He's going for it. So yeah, keep him in there.
There's a little comparison as well in France. They say the bromance between Giroud and Mbappe is comparable with the recent bromance between Jude Bellingham and Anderson, and that's why they're speculating now. I'm going to talk about club football, but they're saying the relationship between Anderson and Jude Bellingham shows that he might be on the way to sign for Liverpool. What do you think about that? You think Jude Bellingham will be at Liverpool?
I don't know why you'd go Liverpool at the minute, to be fair. And Liverpool need more than Jude Bellingham. They need 4 or 5, 6. It's the situation they've got themselves in. They're falling well behind City. City need 1 player, Jude Bellingham. Liverpool need 5. If they go and buy Jude Bellingham, yeah, great. But then you're going to have, like you say, you're going to have Henderson alongside him in midfield, Fabinho. I don't know. I just see City.
Puzzles,
yeah, Real Madrid, City will be in for him. In an ideal world, I'd love him, but we've got Haaland, so I can't be too spoiled.
And do you think situation of Sterling? Do you think it will have an impact?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I don't think so. I think everyone's concentrated on the job, so it's unfortunate for him, and obviously it must have been a bad thing. But it's just crazy, man. But these players, I've said it before. They know when they're in World Cup. These people know that they're out of town.
Of course.
They know the family are there. Higher security to sit in your house. If you've got some crazy guys sat in your gaff, security company, you've got Serbian attack dogs, because some of them have. No one's coming through your gaff. No one's coming through. But if you're stupid enough to leave your house unattended or things like that, then listen, it's a target. Cancelo got beat up in Manchester.
I remember that, yeah.
And he's moved into...
It happened to Di Maria in Paris as well. Di Maria happened in Manchester and also in Paris.
Aubameyang, Barcelona, it happens. It's frequent. Yeah. It is sad what's happened with Sterling, but hopefully, obviously, England can then go and do him proud now, because that's what I think what Steve said as well. That England are focusing on the football massively, and I think one thing I saw today, which was interesting, is that even for World Cup games, when they're watching, say tonight, Brazil, South Korea. Southgate's got them all in the hotel lobby and they're watching it together. It's not staying in your hotel rooms. And I know it might sound so daft, they could be playing PlayStation or whatever, but little things like that, just watching other games, watching the opposition, but just staying together and having that harmony look, we had the Paul Scholes', Gerard Lampards, Wayne Rooney's, Ferdinand Terry's, whatever, and we couldn't get through to a semi-final. We're now talking semi-final, final, and then potentially another semi-final we beat France. And it's not like, oh my God, the group are amazing. There's a balance from goalkeeper to up front, but the harmony's there. And when you're all buying into the same thing and thinking,
Ty, I'm sorry, but when you say this, then we usually say it's thanks to the manager. Thanks to the coach.
He's changed it all. He's changed the culture. And do you know what? Fair play to him, because he's done it. Steve Holland's come in and done it as well. He's a great assistant in club football. And when or if Southgate does stay on or when he goes, he's created something that a new manager can come in and actually feel like, do you know what? I'm coming into a good thing. You can focus on the football and the job, not about, right, I've got to sort harmony first, then the football. So, you know, England have got no... The best thing about it is me looking at it from an England perspective, they've got no excuses, Stu, and that's a nice place to be in. You go in there, and as long as they can walk off that pitch and say, do you know what, we gave it our all. We didn't sit back, or we didn't, played on the break, and, put the brake pad on and not to go and release. Just go out there, play your best you can, and walk off that pitch, win, lose, or draw, and be proud. There's no excuses. There's no injuries.
The attitude won't be the one of attending that game and saying, okay, we're playing against the nation that is holding the World Cup title,
irrelevant,
etc. Like, we should
why?
Be careful.
I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you. Then, why do you think that just because you won the World Cup 4 years ago, that remains in people's minds? Like, for me, and don't take this wrongly, when you win a World Cup, okay, I get it. Like, you won the World Cup and it's brilliant. But it's 4 years ago. I don't think that carries into this World Cup.
I get you in the sense that obviously the squad looks way different from the 2018 squad as well, especially when we talked about the midfield. The midfield that we had in 2018 is not the midfield that we have now. And when you say the battle will happen mainly on the midfield, that's when I'm scared. Because when I look at the England midfield, I'm saying that objectively, the England midfield looks better than our midfield. Globally, I'd say we look better, the team as a team generally, but your midfield is carrier than our midfield. So obviously Pogba is not here, Conte is not here, and they were actually the ones, organizing the team pretty much. And obviously, if you lack this when you reach that stage, then it's crucial to have a solid midfield.
That's why I think the 4 years has no weight, sadly. I just think this is now, this is today. Look what England have done since that World Cup, obviously getting to the final of Euros, now playing quite well in the World Cup. So I just think it's 90 minutes, 50-50, individual moments might win it, or a mistake or a red card.
Indeed.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's big games right now.
Set pieces can go all the way.
Yeah.
No penalties, though. We don't want penalties.
No. At least we saw a penalty shootout today, actually.
I know.
Yeah, crazy. Right. We'll probably discuss this at the end of the show, because we'll do the score predictions live. By the way, if you want to be part of the score prediction battle, scan the QR code on your screen, join Matchday, and also create a FanFest live account so you can contribute to the content, join, get involved, comment in the comment section, and you can also join live with us. So give it a check. So I'm gonna talk about the Netherlands now, obviously, which is a great result, Sabi. I'm sorry, but I was quite impressed with that performance from the Netherlands. The USA looked like a solid team since the beginning of the competition. I was not expecting that, at least like you had 2 goals difference. It was a great performance from the Netherlands. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, we were ruthless. It was a decent game on our side, without actually playing that well, in my opinion. It was quite of a boring game from the Netherlands perspective. But Van Gaal is a mastermind. His tactics were flawless. He was talking about provocative pressing. That's a new word from his side, because what he actually did, he let the central defense of the United States dribble in. They let them have the ball. And once they pass the ball to their midfield, that's the moment where we start pressing. That's the moment where we try to conquer the ball and then try to counterattack. And that's basically what we are doing right now. We have a solid organization. We're well organized, and we can harm our opponent through counterattacks with many technical footballers up front. So that's what we basically did. And the first goal was lovely. I mean, did you see those passes?
Yeah, fantastic.
It was so good. And after that goal, we weren't actually we weren't in trouble. It was solid, and
Mm.
they had that lucky goal. I mean, the striker didn't even know he scored. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah,
It's a deflection or something. I don't know what it was
yeah, it
really,
was
but
Fake flick.
yeah,
exactly. It was a ridiculous goal. But I said it before. I mean, if our wingbacks are in form, we can be very dangerous. And you saw that in this game. I mean, Dumfries having 2 assists and a
yeah. I
goal.
was about to mention
Yeah,
Dumfries,
brilliant.
man. His goal was quality.
He is, yeah, definitely. I mean, Blind, his passing with his with the Dumfries goal, also excellent. He scored as well, Blind. So if our wingbacks are in form, it's going to be very difficult for the opponent to attack us or to be dangerous against us, and that's basically the key at this moment. And we are winning, and we haven't had really tough opponents. It starts in next game against Argentina,
Ooh,
but I
How,
mean,
how do you feel about the Argentina game?
to be honest, I was not that impressed by Argentina.
Okay.
It was a Messi show. It was all
Hmm.
balls to Messi, and the other players were not really that impressive in my opinion. So looking at that and looking in at the way Argentina plays or played, I think we have a fair chance against them in the quarterfinals.
What I like about the Netherlands, I'm looking at the stats against the USA, is that you guys are always clinical. You're not usually having the possession, or
No,
we're talking about 17 shots for the USA, 11 for the Netherlands, 8 shots on target for the US, and 6 shots on targets for you, and you scored three. So, and you had 41% possession. They had
yeah,
59.
it's
So
exactly.
it's always like this with the Netherlands. Like you have the impression they're not dominating, but they are clinical.
Yeah, but basically they changed throughout the years. I mean, in 2010 and beyond, it was always possession, 4 3
Mm,
3 attacking football, but we always lost. It changed in 2014 when we started to play with a five-man defense,
mm,
and we came pretty far. I mean, we lost through penalties against Argentina in the semis, and then won against Brazil when we became third in the tournament. So I think this is I think that the mindset has changed in the Netherlands by saying, let's play. We'd rather win prizes with boring football, like effective football, clinical football, than playing beautiful football, which we are famous for, but
mm.
then losing those games in the quarters or in the semis.
Paolo, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say on the last stream, I I knew this would happen. Like the first half, I said it was just gonna be transition football from the Netherlands. They were happy to just sit back, absorb pressure, hit on the counter, and they were so effective with it. I mean, Depay, like how many times did I mean? I know a lot of people said weren't really impressed with his game, but I thought at times in transition he was so dangerous with his pace
Yeah.
and some of his link-up play was so dangerous.
Mm.
And they don't need to have that much possession, Netherlands.
No,
They
no.
dominate games without having possession. And when you have a team that dominates the match without having that much possession, they're a dangerous team
Yeah. And
because
defensively,
that's it.
defensively,
Yeah.
we're excellent at defensively. I mean, we don't concede a lot of chances. We don't concede a lot of goals. So if we are well organized, we can leave it up to our attackers to do the
Yeah.
necessary and be clinical,
Yeah.
finish off, score one goal, and then wait for the opponent to come and take risks, and then go out all again.
Abi,
Yeah.
you mentioned Messi, but are you not scared of Alvarez? But he's smashing it. I'm sorry, it's not,
Yeah,
Messi obviously is here, but the little Alvarez, man, I'm telling you, he's on fire. Be
he's
careful to him.
yeah, he's okay. He's okay, but eventually everything comes through Messi. So if you stop Messi, you basically stop the team.
Yeah.
That's the medicine.
That's
That,
an
that's what
interesting. That's an interesting point. Whereas if you stop Mbappe, you do not stop the team. You only
Mm.
stop Mbappe.
That's the difference between
Yeah,
those two nations. Argentina only got Messi. Messi, he is everything for Argentina. And
yeah.
if you stop him or if he's out of form, it's not an
there's no
excellent team.
connection. There's no
There's no
connection between
connection.
the
There's
players.
no team. He keeps them all together. But if you take out one card, like
Mm,
a house of cards, if you take one card, everything will fall apart.
yeah.
And that will be the hopefully Van Gaal will have a key strategy to stop him. And if that happens, I will give us a fair chance to advance.
Yeah, I think you can advance. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to say it straight up. I just have not been impressed by this Argentinian team.
No.
What you
Easy.
said about Messi, 100% agree. And
Yeah, of course you back up Brazil. That's why.
No, not even. Do you know what?
Yeah.
I should say that. Do I want to see them? I'd rather beat them in a semi. But do you know what? I look at this Netherlands team, and the way you're saying that you're playing, which we can all see, is exactly the way you're going to want to play against an Argentinian team.
Yeah.
Let them have the ball. Let's be honest. I'm going to say it. Lautaro Martinez, I do not rate that guy one bit. I think he's very overrated.
Yeah,
Di Maria, he's been injury prone and he missed the last game. Then they've got obviously Enzo Fernandez in midfield, and then Gomez, who's 34 now, plays out on the left. When you look at pace in behind, who's really hurting you? No one. Martinez is coming deep. Everything's pushed up. That is Van Dijk, Timber, and Aki's bread and butter because they are quick. They're getting anything that comes in behind.
Exactly.
So all you've got to do is allow them to have the ball, which South American sides like to have the ball. And I think when you pinch it, you just got their back four because Otamendi, I get it. We said about his leadership skills, but running the other way, you want him doing that. Molina, the right back's not that excellent anyway. Let's be honest. He's been in and out the side. Yeah. They're playing Romero, who you just don't know what sort of Romero is going to turn up. And then left back Acuna, who's naturally a winger. So I think when you look at this Argentinian team, there's not great balance. I think this Netherlands team has balance. They have cohesion. And most importantly, they have a plan. This Argentinian team do not have a plan. And to win a World Cup without a plan, I've never seen that before. I think you've got a big chance here with us.
And the fact they don't play Lisandro Martinez is only an advantage for us. I mean,
exactly.
He's not playing.
Exactly. So I just don't see how this Argentinian team go there and score 2 or 3 when, like you said, you're not conceding a lot of chances and stuff like that. I think Depay, Gakpo, and even Bergwijn, when he comes on, for example, the problems you can cause them with the pace and dropping in them sort of number 10 pockets. Yeah. And then once you're running at them, I think there's a problem. So I'm going to go Netherlands. Well, obviously we do our predictions, but I really
don't do predictions. But I got you.
I think that could go to penalties though as well. That's I think
it can be. Indeed.
And it was a 2-1 against Australia. So just to remind you a few stats as well. As we said, possession for Argentina during this game against Australia was 61%, and 39% for Australia. 14 shots for Argentina, 5 on targets.
Australia could have equalised in the last minute.
We don't
little things like that.
Well, it was an excellent save.
Just touching on
so that means even when they have like 61% possession and like all those shots and everything, they can still concede.
Yeah, Alvarez, he's doing exactly what he does at City. Sometimes City get a bit flat, and the game starts to peter out. They bring him on, and he's like a little bundle of energy. He chases everything down. He's onto the fullbacks. He's onto the goalkeeper. He's looking for a mistake. And I think that's what happens with Argentina. Once they seem to slow down and the Messi avenue starts to get blocked, they just think we'll throw him on and create something. And then all of a sudden, you've got a problem because he's everywhere. He's on the left, he's on the right, he's up against the goalkeeper, he's pressing. And then all of a sudden, Messi becomes free again because people are worrying about this guy. He's all over the place. Exactly, and that's what he's good at, and he can finish.
He has to start, Steve. He has to start.
Yeah, but you know what? He said that at City, but when he started at City, he wasn't as effective. I feel like because he's still young, he's just an impact player. And I think they're using him right. I think because if they use him from the start and it's not going their way, what else have they got to throw on? They look at the bench, you think, how are they going to freshen it up? How are they going to spark it? So he's a bit like what England do with Rashford the other day. Yeah. You can throw Rashford on near the end and he's chasing everything. And it's a nightmare for defenders. You've been defending your life against Messi. Then all of a sudden they throw young Alvarez on who's a bundle of energy. You're thinking, you know what I mean? We don't need it. And I think that's the secret weapon of Argentina. He's come on, he's scoring goals. Yeah. So, but no, Holland are just efficient. The Dutch are efficient. Van Gaal's always been a great coach. He's always been a great coach. And he's got the respect of him and he can make average players play out the skin. They're running through brick walls for him. Nathan Ake looks solid. And like you say, you look through the team, like you say, Dumfries as a fullback. I watched him in Holland. I went to watch Den Haag and PSV, and I noticed him there. He's a big unit, man. And obviously he's in Inter now. But listen, Holland, this World Cup's a special World Cup. I think we all didn't know what to expect. We all getting sidetracked by non-footballing bullshit and issues and stuff like that, where we're fans, man. We want to enjoy the World Cup. The things that are going on politically and that, let the big dogs deal with that. We're footballing people. We just want to sit down and enjoy the beautiful game. And I think it's been a beautiful game. You've seen Japan, you've seen, you know, the upsets and the way it's all unfolding now. Everybody's thinks their team's got a chance.
Morocco as well against Spain tomorrow as well. Let's see. But
everyone thinks they got a chance, though, innit? Everyone's team feels like we could do something, and you don't usually get to that later stages when you think, you know, we've got a chance. So I'm just enjoying it, mate.
Sabi, I was really happy to see as well Xavi Simons play a few minutes.
Finally gets minutes.
Did you? I would like to have your opinion on Xavi Simons, because obviously I'm not really objective. I have a soft spot for him. I was all about to cry when we let him go to PSV Eindhoven at the end of last season. I think he's a quality, young, talented player. I hope he will be back at PSG. But what do you make of it in the Netherlands national team? Do you think he should play more, or what do you think?
Yeah, he deserves more minutes, definitely. I mean, from what I've seen and from what I've heard from the media during practice in Qatar, he's one of the best. He's one of the best there, and that's the reason why Van Gaal gave him these minutes. Normally, he would have given him those minutes in the past game where we had nothing to lose against Qatar.
Yeah.
But at the end, he didn't want to give him the minutes. But eventually, now this game he did, and he's that extra. He just like Big Steve says about Alvarez. That's basically what Xavi Simons is for in the Netherlands.
So you think he can be used as a super sub against Argentina?
Because he's technically very gifted.
Yeah.
He's very quick. He has great shot, so he can be an additional weapon besides Bergwijn. So I think it's a good thing that he gave him those minutes, and let's move on from there.
I'd love to see him play against Argentina. Fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, let's talk about Ty. I'm coming to you, man. You know what? Before I come to you, quickly, little word on the Japan-Croatia game. Penalties.
Oh my God.
Bro, that was a bit of a boring one, innit?
To be fair, I thought Japan were really good in that game, though.
I really hope for them, man.
I feel for them, yeah.
The passing was phenomenal at times. I mean, I was like, is this actually Japan we're watching here? Like the passing, the link-up play. I mean, I thought Japan were a slightly better team, if I'm honest. I did miss a bit of the game at the first half, the first 20 minutes of the second half. I thought they were the better team. For Croatia were too slow.
Croatia looking old to me, Croatia team. It's just looking old. But Japan full of energy. A lot of them players just keep running and you know, the heat out there. None of us are out there. We don't experience it. But you look at the players' shirts dripping. Yeah. And them Japan players just keep running, and it must be tough to play against. But Croatia rigged the luck, got through. But I think one of our teams are going to fancy Croatia.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I said that though the other time, and look what happened.
Was that Brazil-Croatia now? Brazil-Croatia. For me, that's an easy game for Brazil, but we'll get into Brazil now anyway. So
yeah, Ty, Brazil, South Korea 4-1 against a little walk in the park for Brazil, man. I watched that game. It was like proper what we call joga bonito, like FIFA Street. Like
the manager was dancing. The manager was dancing.
I know. We got the manager skanking now. You know what I mean?
The pigeon dance as well. You know.
Do you know what? I'd love to be in that dressing room. I'll be honest with you. It must be brilliant, man. Just the vibes and energy in there. But do you know what? I think I don't want to get carried away. It was South Korea. I expected Brazil to beat South Korea, but I didn't expect the game to be done within 30 minutes. I don't think a lot of teams have been ruthless this competition. Brazil were ruthless tonight. They didn't let up. You know, they said, right, we got one, we got two. And look how many. I think it was the last time we was on a show together and we said teams take the lead and then they weren't getting that second goal. And then obviously teams are coming back. Exactly. Yeah. Brazil, they played last in every group game. They've learned a lot. They've watched a lot. They just went for that second, third goal and said, right, let's just put this to the sword. And it's great just to see everyone contributing. Like, Stu, obviously you love Neymar. I love Neymar as well. I love him to win the World Cup. But this Brazil team here at the moment is not just about Neymar. And I love that. It's like everyone went into the World Cup talking about Neymar and obviously him being the main guy. And he's had the injury. But Brazil just carried on performing. They've been efficient. I know they conceded tonight, their first goal they conceded. But everyone's chipping in. You've got Richarlison, you've got Vinicius now scoring goals. He doesn't really score a lot of goals for a winger, if I'm honest. You've got Rafinha, who you can see he's getting frustrated. He hasn't scored, but he's still contributing. And then you've got
Casemiro quality as well.
Casemiro again, like probably right now you could say the best defensive midfielder in the world, the way he's playing as well. So everything's working right now. But again, I'm just here sitting thinking, what happens when Brazil get the big test?
but they're on the right side of the draw. Croatia next. I think they beat Croatia, like Steve
I mean,
said.
that's a big test.
No, I don't. I think I agree with Steve. I think they're getting. I think it's old legs, man, and it's catching up with them. And then potentially in Argentina or Netherlands in a semi. Now, I'd rather probably play Argentina than I would want to play a Netherlands who are going to be organized and sit back in and could hit, that defense on the counter. So I think Brazil are on the right side of the draw. I actually think they would have trouble playing against the Portugal, Spain, and England or France. I think they've actually got the right side of the draw. But I'm happy with how it's going so far. Everyone's chipping in. Neymar is back now. But you just can't get carried away. Like I think the main thing I took away from that game was the ruthlessness, putting it to bed early.
It could have been lots more, eh?
Yeah,
it could have.
Could have been 6-7.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the exciting part. Like we've seen Brazil play 4 or 5 times now, and we looked at their wing back situation. We all questioned like Danilo, obviously Alexandro, Alex Telles, and Dani Alves. A couple of them have got injured. They've had to swap and change. Eder Militao, who I didn't expect to play at right back, has been playing at right back, and it still looked okay. So the weak link we thought was a weak link so far hasn't even been tested that much yet. So they're looking quite good. I don't know what you guys think on the wing-back situation, because that's the only one I'm a bit wobbly with, because they have swapped and changed quite a bit.
Yeah, go on, Paulo.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, from what I saw today, I think that was probably one of the best performances I've seen so far in this World Cup. I mean, I know it's South Korea, but I don't know if you guys watched, but South Korea beat Portugal. And I know that there was 6 changes, 7 changes, but still, like, I would expect Portugal to beat South Korea in the third game of the group
They
stage.
weren't really tested, right? I mean, the backs.
Yeah,
really tested.
Yeah, so I think Brazil really. I think they'll beat Croatia. I wasn't really impressed with them against Japan today. I thought Japan were really good, man. I kind of, because I did put a bet that Japan would get through, so I'm a bit annoyed that they didn't go through. But I thought they were the better team anyway. I thought they were better than Croatia. I don't know if you guys watched the full game, but I thought they were better.
I did. Brazil would probably struggle playing more against Japan than I think they would Croatia, just because of the pace.
I reckon when I was watching that game, I thought I wouldn't want to face Japan. If they're playing like that,
penalties, man. Penalties. The Croatian keeper was. Okay, it was. The way they kicked the ball was awful, but the keeper was on point. I'm sorry.
I always feel like Eastern European keepers, or like you're the proper trademark European, like Serbians, Croatians.
Poland keeper was amazing as well.
Poland, their keepers are always big frame. They like saving penalties. So I don't think you want to do that with Croatia. But I feel like Brazil, if they score first against Croatia, I don't really see how Croatia get back in the game. I love Luka Modric. I think he's a brilliant player, but can he impact games like he does for club? And I think I'll compare this to Lewandowski. Lewandowski is a great striker. We know that he's like probably top 5 in the world still when it comes to finishing. At Barcelona, you have Dembélé, you have Rafinha's around you. At Real Madrid, Modric still has Cruz, Valverde, he has Vinicius, he has Benzema, he still has Ramos and everything.
Yeah.
Croatia, Kramaric, when you're playing up top, like it's not quite the same. And I feel
the goal came out of nothing, really.
The goal came out of nothing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, 35, playing 120 minutes still. Like when you look at players like Lewandowski, Modric, they are great players still, but they then start needing the team around them to help them still maintain that level. Yeah. Croatia can't do that. Poland can't do that. I'm confident in a Brazil win.
And Thiago Silva, worth mentioning, the assist, solid defending. With his age,
Marquinhos as well. Like the quick pass into him, straight into Richarlison. And Richarlison's banging goals as well. Like he's a completely different player for Brazil. I really feel like he enjoys thriving as like the number 9 for Brazil. And Gabriel Jesus has got away now. The pressure kind of in a clever way has gone now onto Richarlison to say, right, you've got to dig us out of some holes, because Brazil are going to get in situations where it might be 1-1 in the 70th minute. If you're playing Argentina and you need something. Sometimes you just need someone that can scrap you for a goal, and Richarlison can do that. But man, I'm really liking it. And I think one player I wanted to shout out, I know you just mentioned Thiago Silva, but for me, Alisson, I've got the top on right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, he had amazing saves, man.
Yeah, he's the best keeper in the world. And I think what makes me so impressed about him is that, for example, when you're Edison and you're playing at Manchester City, for example, you would dominate the ball for like 70, 80 minutes, but then you might need to pull out 2 big saves just to keep your, you might not have scored, you've been 2-1 up and you haven't killed the game off. One big save can make you win them 3 points. And Alisson today, I think it went 4-1, but South Korea had 2 chances. Imagine that goes in, it's 4-3, a nervy 5 minutes. But, best keepers are always ready for that one save. And he's that guy, man.
Yeah.
Boys, this is time for the score predictions for the next games. So just a little reminder, you can join the score prediction battle. There's a little prize money at the end of the competition as well. We'll announce this during the next show, and also some cards, player cards to win as well. So we're gonna do this right now. New predictions. Let's check the leaderboard quickly. If I'm still on, yeah, I'm still on top. Oh, Sahabi second now. Okay, Paolo, you were
No,
second,
I'm
weren't
hearing
you?
you.
Come on, man.
Paolo third. I'm still on top, and we have Victor is not here. Is on fourth position. So yeah, you can join also the this leaderboard and compete with us. Scan the QR code on your screen and join Matchday right now. So upcoming matches, we have. I'm going to you right away, Paolo, for Portugal, Switzerland. Talk to us, man. How do you feel about that one?
Look, I thought Switzerland were very good against Serbia. I didn't expect them to do what they did in that game. I don't know if you guys watched it, but I thought Switzerland were very clinical. Xhaka, Shaqiri, Rodriguez. They listen, when they play for Switzerland, they play for Switzerland. You know what I mean? And I think it's going to be a difficult team to face. I think we need to be clinical in this game. I want to see, look, Mbolo, man, that pace is mad. And
Do you have any news about Danilo and Nuno Mendes injuries?
Yeah, Nuno Mendes is out of the World Cup.
Like for good. Like there's no way he can come back.
No way.
Nah.
He's not coming back.
Yeah.
And Danilo, I haven't heard anything about him. I think that rib injury was quite a big one. Either way, I still wouldn't play him. So, it's just one of them ones where I was impressed with Delo, Ty. I was very impressed with Delo against Korea. I know we lost, but he got the assist for the goal. I would play Delo at right back and Cancelo at left back.
Yeah.
I think Cancelo is a lot more unpredictable from the left. And Delo, with this form, listen, you don't mess with Delo on this form. I think he's becoming a very well-rounded fullback.
He's good.
And yes, I would want to see that fullback partnership. Look, in this game, we're going to have to be clinical. I want to see Rafael Leão play in this game because I think his directness and pace needs to counteract Mbolo's. If you have that constant pace from Mbolo and then you don't have that in your attack. I know Felix has that pace, but he doesn't have that Rafael Leão pace. And we're going to need that in this game. I haven't really been impressed with him when he's come off the bench, but he's going to have to link up the play better, be less selfish, and just play as a team. That's it. So against Switzerland, it's going to be difficult, but I think looking at our last 5 games, we've won 3, lost 2. I think we'll beat them 3-1.
Are you talking about the head-to-head record against Switzerland or just your last 5 games? Okay.
Yeah. Last 5 games against Switzerland, we've won 3, lost 2.
Paolo, just to quickly ask you, if Leão starts, what do you do? Do you bring Bernardo inside or do you keep Bernardo on the wide? Because obviously if Felix plays, then that's Felix, Leão, Ronaldo. That means Bernardo and Bruno essentially. And I don't believe that Fernando Santos will go with one sitting midfielder.
He wouldn't.
So how does it work then? That's my question.
For me personally, I would take that risk to go with Palhinha. I would go Bernardo Silva and Bruno in midfield. Because Bruno and Bernardo are both very, very active out of possession. But he's not going to do that. What he's probably going to do, he's going to go William, he's going to go Ruben Neves, and he's going to go Bruno Fernandes.
Yep.
Which for me, look, it's not a bad midfield. It's not. But I think you have a much better chance beating them if you've got Bernardo and Bruno in midfield. In my opinion,
I think Bernardo is better essentially as well.
Me too. And look, Big Steve, I don't know if you agree, but I think that Bernardo is a lot more active and better in midfield.
Yeah, he played Bernardo Silva wide, and he's nowhere near the same player.
Yeah,
you play him central. I mean, he runs his socks off more than anyone. I think he got a record against Liverpool. Some daft kilometers he ran. And he's come out this week and said he likes to play, in the middle of the park next to the holding midfielder. I think he's good there. He's definitely got more energy than Ruben Neves.
I've been saying it from the start of the competition. You need to play him in midfield. Don't play him on the wing. And I'll play Felix on the right. Felix is a player who can play anywhere across the front 3. So I'll just play Felix on the right, Leão on the left. You've got a very attacking team there. You still got a defensive midfielder there in Palhinha, who, look, William, for me, I've said it on this show. I think William can create. He's a defensive midfielder, but he can create. Palhinha is going to do the simple job. He's going to protect the back 4. He's going to do the simple passes. Give it to Bernardo. Give it to Bruno. Exactly. Let them do the job. Let them do the job. But he's not going to do that. Either way, I still think we'll win this game 3-1.
Okay. I like having your insights so I can, I can adjust my score prediction and stay top of the leaderboard as well. You see what I've done right now? See? So by the way it sounds, I don't think he's going to go extra time. I don't think he's going to go penalties. I think it will be a tight one, though, but I think Portugal will win that one still. So I'm going 2-1 Portugal.
I'm going 2-1 as well. Yeah.
Same.
I'm going for a draw.
Okay.
Stu, can I just say something? Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. I don't think we should do the quarterfinal predictions till Thursday's show.
Each one of you can attend Thursday?
I can do Thursday.
Yeah,
Okay,
Thursday.
so we just do those two.
It makes
then.
it more interesting if we save it. It's like a big build up to the quarterfinals. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Sabi just said a draw. Why do you think a draw, Sabi?
I think a draw because Switzerland is a tough opponent to beat, and they play quite well against bigger nations. So
Penalties, you think?
no, yeah, most likely. I think it will be penalties again. That's what I think
Wow.
because they can be the next dark horse.
Well, Paulo, apparently Ronaldo is not confirmed to play tomorrow. Apparently, there's something with Ronaldo. Can you tell us what's going on?
Really? I mean,
Apart from the fact that he signed for this crazy amount with a Saudi Arabian club, but apart from that, what's going on?
I actually haven't heard anything about him, any injury or anything about that. I might need to double check that. But even that Saudi Arabian deal, I don't know if that's actually confirmed. I think that it would be stupid from him to sign a deal with a team when you're playing in the World Cup. And it'll be contradicting considering he said he wants to play at Champions League and at the highest level and their standards. So why are you going to go to anyway? I'm getting too much involved.
After what happened, mate, there's no way he's going to be back in Manchester. No way.
No way. But listen, I said it in the beginning. I said if he has a good World Cup, which has been a bit iffy so far, but if he was to have a good knockout stage, if Portugal were to get to a final, I have no doubt that a team would probably want him, maybe a Champions League team. And you guys might disagree, but I think it would be very early for him to sign for a club right now.
He needs to go to Lisbon to me. He needs to. He's had a rough time with his family. He lost the child and things like that. He needs to go back to Lisbon. Maybe say, look, I'll play for XYZ. Give me some shares in Sporting Lisbon. After I finish, I'll become a director of football or something there. Live his life in Portugal with his family and his kids. He's done enough for football. He doesn't have to prove anything to anyone now. The only reputation's only taken a knock from now because this interview didn't sit well with a lot of people. The way he's behaved, okay, whether he's right or wrong. So for me, just go back, give something back to your people. You go to sport. I went to Lisbon to watch City, and in Sporting Lisbon souvenir shop, they're selling Ronaldo stuff.
Yeah.
Already. So he's obviously loves the club. It's his, for me, I'm Ronaldo. Forget going up. You don't nothing else to prove. Forget going abroad, getting 200 million. Go and build Sporting Lisbon. Go and attract the kids in Portugal to your club.
I agree as well.
Build something for the next generation, and then live your life there, be happy, and something you can proud of. That is my advice.
I think it will be the best decision if he's going and accepting this 200 million per year deal, which is roughly, was that 4 or 5 million per week, something like that. I don't know what is that, but that is crazy. He does not need the money as well. Like if you're a legend of that sport, like just go back home, do as you said, do something locally, and live like a king, at least for your local people. But going abroad like this, I think it will be.
If it is true and that there's something maybe going on with him not starting tomorrow, I would assume he would start Andre Silva in the number 9 position. I would start Gonzalo Ramos in the number 9 position. So Santa, look, for me, I don't know. I'll see. I'll double check that, see what's happening there. But I think if Ronaldo's available, we most definitely start him. So
okay. Let's go to Morocco, Spain then. I think this one will be a surprise. I know.
Well, you said Morocco last time, didn't you?
I said Senegal last time. It will be a surprise, but it was not. They got smashed. But I think this one, it will either be a tight one, like go penalties, or Morocco will win that one. Personally, I think Morocco can win that one. What do you think?
I can't see it.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sabi, you were nodding. I was intrigued to see if you agree with.
It all depends. I mean, I'm rooting for Morocco on this one, but it all depends on the how the game will evolve in the first half. If Spain scores within the first 10 or 15 minutes, then then I don't see Morocco coming back. But if they can uphold at least a draw during the first half, I can see a very good chance for Morocco to be one of the surprises. So for me, it will be either a draw or a slight Morocco win.
There's something about this game. When I think about it, from what I've seen from Morocco, very organized.
Exactly.
You see freedom in every single one of their players, but they play as a team. And I think Spain will dominate possession. I think they will
definitely dominate, but they will let them dominate possession.
Definitely,
that's where it can get a bit tricky against for Spain, because in those counterattacks or in those set pieces, Morocco can create chances, but it all depends on the first 15-20 minutes, because the pressure will be high from Spain. but they can't uphold it during the whole first half.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Spain. I like the. I'm happy. First of all, I'm happy for Morocco. I think it's great to see him at this stage. But I think the football that Spain play, I get that Morocco are physical, they're very organized. But when you play a team like Spain, and I know they lost to Japan, but they were basically through, you have to be so switched on for 90 minutes. Like, what all it takes is one little triangle, Gavi popping up here, then Pedri makes a run, and then all of a sudden Spain are like through and goal. The way they just work the pockets, I just don't know if Morocco can stay switched on for 90 minutes. I think they can stay in the game and make it competitive, but I do think once Spain get 1 and maybe 2, I just think it's too hard to peg back a team like Spain if you're Morocco. So
and Morata's on form. Morata's on form.
Yeah, Morata's playing well. I don't know if he'll start, but yeah, he's not the best striker, but he's actually playing on form at the moment for Spain. But I think Steve, I think he was going to say that Spain will win, but I just don't see how Morocco stay switched on for 90 minutes.
Sorry, I asked Victor's opinion before the show. He's not here, unfortunately, but he said to me that this one should be an easy win for Spain.
See, yeah, and I think Steve was going to say the same. I think.
Yeah, I think Spain will pass them to death. You see it sometimes with City, the way they play. You know, Enrique's the same. I think they can take them into deep waters where they think they're chasing shadows, and whether they've got the discipline enough to relax, whether they're going to go around levering, booting people about and just going mad, because they're going to come out pumped. Morocco's going to come out with a whole nation behind them. Like, it's going to be first 15, 20 minutes of madness, but Spain can dampen that fire early doors. Do not give them a kick of the ball for ages. Just knock it about, be patient, and then I think they'll just pick them off. But like you say, these games coming now, that they're all, they're not 100% games, are they? Some people choose Morocco, some Spain. So I'm just looking forward to it.
Okay, well, I'm still going for a 2-1 Morocco. This is my personal score prediction.
So we got three for Morocco.
I think we will finally.
I like that.
We will finally see an Achraf Hakimi free kick. I think it will be a big surprise. I'm not hoping. It's just that I think it can actually happen. So no, this is my score prediction. Hopefully, it will win me some points on the leaderboard.
If that happens, you basically might look at Portugal.
What did you say? Sorry?
I said if Morocco win, then obviously Portugal potentially play Morocco, so Paolo could be looking at a semi-final.
Say no more.
So that means by the way you phrased it, for you, Portugal is the same level or even better than Spain.
No, because I think Spain beat both probably.
So if Spain plays Portugal next round, you think Spain will go through?
Oh, I don't want that game.
Yeah, see, look, I'll let Paolo.
I don't want that Spain game, man.
We'll save it for the later show, but his answer has left it nicely. See? There we go.
Okay, let me save this then. Challenging Sahbi, Paolo, and Victor.
I need to do my scores. I didn't realize you guys were doing them. I didn't know.
Yeah, man, join the leaderboard, man.
Yeah,
I'm try to challenge me, man.
Still.
There's a little something to win as well, bro. So.
He tells me and Steve halfway through. I like that.
So as we said, we're not going to do the Friday games because we will catch up on Thursday. But we have Croatia, Brazil, Netherlands, Argentina, and Saturday we have England, France, and potentially Morocco,
potentially Portugal, Spain. Do you know what? If it goes to paper, just quickly before we wrap up, if it does go on like planned and Portugal win tomorrow, Spain win tomorrow, we're looking at the best quarterfinals of a World Cup in years. By the way,
I think so.
In years, oh, brilliant!
Croatia, Brazil, Netherlands, Argentina, England, France, and Portugal, Spain.
Wow.
Yeah, on paper, I agree with you. But before we wrap it up, what quarterfinal looks the more exciting to you? France, England, Croatia, Brazil, Netherlands, Argentina, or the next one? We don't know about the next one, but we just those three here. Which one would you say the most exciting one?
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Well.
Big Steve versus Stu.
We said when we started the show, one of us will play against the other, and one will have to leave the show.
Yeah.
Even Stuart, even the boys from Martin C in Paris, the customers that we met.
Yeah.
Even they're in my DMs sending me French flags. and all sorts. So they're even giving me shit now.
Do you know what even makes that game great as well? The national anthems for both are brilliant. So like you know what I mean?
man.
France one, England one is proper, man.
I've never met as many French people in the last 6 months, and then now we've got France. They're all coming out the woodwork giving me shit.
Bro, and if I'm if we're losing, I'm gonna get rusted because I live in this country as well. So trust me, I don't want this to happen, you know. So let's see how it goes. But we're not gonna do the score prediction for Saturday and Friday. We'll do this on Thursday. Yeah. So guys, if you want to be part of the score prediction battle, join Matchday right now. Scan the QR code on your screen or click the QR code if you are on a desktop. You can join the leaderboard with us. There's a little prize money to win at the end of the competition and player cards on Matchday. And if you're watching this show on Big Steve's channel, we talk Ajax, also Paulo, Never a Foul with Ty or Parisian Londoner. You can also get involved by creating a FanFest account and potentially join the show as well with us. We'll try to make it happen on Thursday. So get involved. Boys, I think that was a good one. I'm looking forward to the, Thursday one is the build-up of the quarterfinals, so the pressure is going a little bit high right now. And then I think after the quarterfinals, it will be a madness. It will be a madness. I'm telling you, I just can't wait because I'm gonna. If England is out and we're kicking England out, trust me, bro. I'm preparing a big thing. I think Mbappe will be on the show. Right, boys. Thank you very much. So subscribe to each one of those guys here as well. And let's catch up on Thursday. Have a lovely evening.
See you later, guys.
Bye. Take care. Bye-bye.